Howdy fellas, Frankie A, back again on YouTube. This evening YouTube I have a build presentation I'll probably be doing around springtime of this year. And every time springtime gets here and summertime gets here, I attend to my balsa wood builds I do. So the topic of this YouTube presentation is Project of Spring. This is going to be a kit that needs no introduction to it at all. All you great fellows out there in our wonderful community we have has seen these many a times at hobby shops as you pass in and pass out. And I had this build pretty recently. I think I built this. I didn't build the model. It's a kit. Excuse me, folks. I just got this the other day, and it's an old kit. It's been around since early 1960s. And this is a kit that's going to be built. It's going to be a whole different deal compared to us styrene fellows out here. You know, this is a balsa wood stick tissue model, and a model airplane, no matter what it's made out of, paper, balsa wood, or plastic, the principle's the same. It's a build. And this is going to be a flying model. I'm going to fly it, and I'll discuss the techniques on this model. What will be done on it as we go through the inbox review. Let me introduce the kit first, folks. You guys probably seen this a lot. This is a Guillows Nieuport 11. This is flown by Royal Lufberry of the French Lafayette back in 1918, World War I. And this is a retooled kit from the old die cut kits. The die cut kits, which came from, like much die cut kits of the era, they suffered a lot of crushed balsa, and a lot of parts had to be duplicated off the plans. One thing good about this, folks, you get a bonus on these plans on models like this in general. They include templates of wing ribs, fuselage formers, anything that makes the model. It's there in full-size view in case you snap a part or a part's damaged during the die cut process. Therefore, there's a template on the plans. You can duplicate the part over again. Well, with the state of the art of lasering, makes this kit very simple and very easy to build and less frustrating about breaking parts. A lot of fellows who build stick and tissue models get very frustrated because of that. With the advent of laser cutting techniques and technology nowadays, it makes stick and tissue kits a blessing and a bust to the wind build too. So this is a dilly of a kit, and I paid precisely. The kit runs for $44. That's the list price at the hobby shop with my infamous discount, and being a senior citizen, old fart in the wind like I am, I got this kit for $30. So I'm very happy. I got 14 bucks, 15, 16 bucks off the original price plus tax. So right now, we'll go to the inbox review of this kit. Before I do the inbox review, I don't want to encourage everybody to start building balsa wood models because there's other forms that carry such. But since I love you guys, we're like a family here. We're all in the same model community, so I more or less I'll restrict this kit only to this form only, and it's just going to be like an airplane build. It's going to be nothing unusual. Yours is balsa wood, and so actually this airplane is going to be isolated from the rest of the balsa wood forms, especially built here for you fellas and for myself. So right now we'll go through the inbox review of the kit, and it's going to be a time-consuming video, folks. So get your popcorn and your coffee ready, and we'll go through the kit. Okay, starting out with the instructions. The instructions, this airplane is a very big model. As you can see, most balsa wood kits are not small. The wingspan of this kit is 24 inches. The fuselage length is 22. And this is a Nieuport 17C. I think the scale of this model is 1/12 scale. And And on the plans right here, as I mentioned, as you look up here on the top over here, folks, right across here, these are what I'm talking about. These are templates. If you snap apart or break apart some out of the kit, you can take this over here and transfer it over to a new piece of balsa wood. You got a new duplicate piece. Also, there's another benefit to this too. If you decide to want to build a styrene model kit of this thing can be duplicated to styrene plastic if selected to do so. But since this is generally a balsa wood kit, we'll go along with the in-box review and the review of the instructions. So this side here is the finished part of the plan. It tells you the color schedule of the plan and do's and don'ts and the techniques like all balsa wood kits are nowadays. As you can see, all those templates right there, they're very useful and they're a must and they're a godsend in these kits. Because like I say, sure shooting, you'll break apart and you'll be all frustrated, so no harm done. All you gotta do is trace off the template on your printer friendly and duplicate over balsa wood. You're good to go, boys. On the reverse side of the plan is the construction plan. The construction plan has the layout of the wings, top and lower wing, also the fuselage lazor sections, the tail sections, and it also has the fuselage right here, as you can see, folks. You pin your wood over your fuselage using wax paper or any kind of clear paper that you can use, or more like saran wrap or such, and protect the plans. So you want to save these plans. These plans are very, very resourceful and very useful to use. With styrene, plastic model, if you decide to want to build one out of styrene, is a challenge, or make another, make a scratch one using these plans. And this airplane was designed for optional purposes. At the time, at the era this airplane was designed, it was designed only for rubber power only and U-control, utilizing an 020 engine, like a Cox 020. They're more or less for use in that category for power operation only for U-control. And during the late 60s, they came out with this thing called the Galloping Ghost, which is a single-channel pulse unit. And the rudder works like it pulses back and forth. That way the plane will fly like in a pattern like this. Because it's in free flight. You got no control of aileron, just rudder only. And that was an art back in those days, so those days are gone. But nowadays, the days of model technology has prevailed, and to the modeling community, it makes it a must in the state of art and made the impossible possible. With the advent of electronics nowadays, you can take a model like this and make a 4-channel airplane that can actually fly as a real machine. They got servos out there, S-22 type, S-60 type servos are very small. They're about a little smaller than a postage stamp that you put on your letterhead. These things are very ingenious and remarkable pieces of technologically electronic equipment. This stuff here is a modeler's delight. It can be done for all kinds of things. Model ships, model airplanes. I think kits like this right here, as I right now make an in-box review of, that these things actually they fly a 4-channel or an all electrical power, and boy, it's mind-boggling. But anyway, to make a long story short, this is gonna be rubber powered. I got a bunch of tan rubber at house. I got the box, and I always use lube in my rubber right there. And I always take my rubber out of my airplane, wrap it up, stick it inside of a plastic baggie to pack the rubber and keep it moist all the time. That way you get longer flights out of it. Anyway, enough of that chatter right here. This is the first time I've seen this kit since 1963, and this kit's really improved a lot. Like I said, with the advent of laser art and new millennium with model making nowadays, there's nothing that's not made. They give you a catalog right here. It tells you what kind of kits you can, a selection you could choose from, or whatever degree of modeling field there is. So there's a catalog. Staying with Guillows. The decals have the Lafayette, the Indian Chief hat on there. Also, it has the typical tail logos that they use on it, and the flight number 4. The big rattles right here, they fit on the top wing. Right here in the center here between the rattles right there simulates a footstep, so you can jump in, so you can hop into the cockpit. Here's the third part of the final decals. These small decals here, they fit on your wheels, and these fit on your bottom of the bottom of your bottom wing. Okay, so enough of that there, and then well, they got they have a safe alternative for tissue covering instead of using dope. Aerogloss dope right now, folks, is practically extinct, and in the modeling industry because of banana oil, the fumes, and the headaches, and the messiness, and everything else that goes with it. With model technology nowadays, that's optional. If you're old school like me, I like to use dope. I got a whole box of dope in my finished basement down below. I even got cans of clear nitrate dope and butyrate dope, stuff that I saved for years, which is I know someday you'll never make, and I can always use that. And it's still fresh as the day I bought it. And anyway, this little sheet right here tells you if anybody buys a Guillows kit, you'll be greeted with all these special notices on here, tips and everything else which they give you. So with this little pamphlet right here, it tells you more or less you can use white glue, apply it on your balsa wood. You can use these as a primer on your wood, and then use a finish coat to apply your tissue, and spray with denatured alcohol and water, and the tissue will tighten up. So this tells you about that. And right here, here's your instruction booklet. For those of you that have difficulties in reading plans and stuff like that, this tells you the kit that you're dealing with. It tells you step-by-step instructions, the fuselage, the wings, on back, the final assembly. And also there's tips there that tells you how to trim your airplane. So these things must be trimmed. You can use them for free flight. Because free flight airplanes are pretty much the principle the same as that as an airplane is piloted by a pilot or radio control. And so the plane has got to be trimmed. My trim on a free flight plane is just use a little bit of just a hint of right rudder, and make sure that your dehedral is the same, no twists, no warps in your wings at all. And make sure you have 1/3 down thrust with a little left thrust involved. When you launch your airplane to the prevailing wind, the plane will have a power to the left, and as the power recedes and dies off and quits, the plane will have a right glide turn ratio. And every time it glides, it'll come closer to you, so there's no chasing involved. So that's a tip of how you trim them. There's all kinds of ways of trimming airplanes, folks. Anyway, there's 4 pieces comprised of here that make the tires. This kit's out there in jigs that you can buy. You can use wire spokes, but I might do that for an ultimate challenge on this. And it looks like Guillows is getting cheap again. Instead of using plywood for the firewall, if you like to use a glow engine on here, they give you some kind of plastic vinyl coating. I don't know what it is, but it's vinyl. To me, it's cheesy and it's cheap. Use plywood. And going through the parts here, there's give you a sheet of vacuum formed parts. This is your cowling here. This is Panzerville's great pilots right there, which can paint it up easy. I bet you can make these guys look good. Heck, I might just send those pilots to have Panzerville have them paint them up for me. I could probably give them a kit for it. And here's the engine part right here. Here's the round engine right here to use, which is a rotary engine. And that completes the vacuum formed parts. That completes the cheesy vacuum formed firewall used for a glow engine. That's terrible. And the prop they give you, it looks like it's a little heavy. I make my own prop out of balsa wood. It's not a bad prop though. It has pretty good, it has 20% pitch on both blades. And it looks like it's pretty well balanced. Very well balanced. A well balanced means a very smooth rubber turn. That's the first time, incidentally, that's the first time I've seen Guillows ever do this before. They actually pre-bent your propeller hook on, and also your thrust bearing. There's some bearings in there too, which that's good. I can use that as an interchangeable prop. That's always a good prop. Anyway, folks, what I'm trying to say is, in general, years ago, These came inside of a baggie along with a piece of clay for balancing and cloth and everything else that goes with it for the hardware to make it fly. The propellers and also the rubber hook to your prop was made separate. You had to stick it through your prop, bend it, and everything else to make it work. So that's a good plus for the kit. So the only negative response to the kit so far is this thing here. I don't like it. So I say again, folks, if you ever get this kit or any kit just like this in this category, throw it away. Get yourself some balsa wood. There's templates in the plans that you can trace over to make it, or just use the saddle piece to trace over it, which would be easier. Okay, guys, here's they give you some music wire. This looks like a 46 thousandths music wire. This wire is probably used for your cabin struts and also your landing gear struts. Highly likely it's used for your landing gear struts. And there's only one in here, but I'm going to the hobby shop and buy me a couple more because I can reinforce my airplane struts and cabin struts using wire. Now, before we get the die cut parts, I mean these laser parts, you drop this carrier sheet right here, or all the parts on the parcel actually disintegrate off the carrier sheet. That's how precise this airplane was made. And so here's a couple pieces just fell out. Well, no, I picked it up right there. They just come apart. Look at that, folks. Clean. Clean. I'm very, very happy with this kit. This is the best Guillows Nieuport 11 kit I've ever seen. This may not be contest balsa, but this is all your stringers for your fuselage on top of your wings. So that's got to be tended to in a different way. The same thing with your stock of your square stock using for spars, and also your landing gear and cabin struts for your wings. A thing about this kit, folks, I find from years of modeling experience, building kits like Guillows, Sterling, which is out of business now, and they had Comet kits out there, which are out of business now. All these stick tissue models, you guys call them, and we call them the same thing too. And all these stick models, they more or less, you know, they out of kit form from Guillows. They're very heavy kits, guys. So you got to really sand down a lot of the back of the carrier sheets. For example, on this carrier sheet on the back side, not the printed side, but the back side, using a balsa block and fine sandpaper, just keep sanding away, because every time you sand away, you're sanding away that weight. A bird and an airplane's worst enemy is weight. And a bird likes to keep himself trimmed for flight, and an airplane's got to be well trimmed in flight as well too. Weight is a very, very critical factor and a very worst enemy an airplane or a bird can even endure. So the best thing you do, folks, even with the stringers right here, you can do two options. You either save the kit stringers or throw them away, or go to the hobby shop and get yourself some contest 1/16 square balsa stringers, which I think would be a better idea than using this. If you elect not to, no harm done. Doesn't matter which side that you sand on these stringers. You take a block of balsa wood, lay on a flat surface, and just keep a sanding on the back side only and on the front side. That'll get rid of all the balsa fuzz. You're taking off the weight. Another thing too, as discussed on the wing ribs here. On this wing rib here is very heavy. So what you got to do, you got to incorporate a lightning hole, which fits like this. Comes around, and it's a hole in the middle of the wing. You got to make a series of holes, or make a large one. Use a template shape like oval shaped. And these lightning holes will deteriorate all the weight from the kit. So you got to lighten these things up. These kits were designed to fly, which is very true. But no matter how good of a craftsmanship you are, how good of a builder you are, they will not fly properly because they're too darn heavy. So what you got to do, dollar preparation is involved. You got to repair all the wing ribs, fuselage, draws, everything. You got got to make lightning holes. So that's what you got to go through when you're dealing with a stick to balsa wood model, folks. So evidently that's what you got to do with these things. And these kits here, they were designed to fly, but you got to make them lighter. And the kit gives you tissue also. There's tissue right here that, and down there somewhere. They give you a good 2 yards of tissue on there, very light tissue, which is good. And there's an option in that tissue too, which you can do. First thing you can do is either go ahead and apply your tissue over your model. You don't even paint it and give it a coat of Krylon clear. It comes out of an aerosol can. Don't use no dope no more, boys. Dope's over with. Krylon clear in a can is magic in a can. You talk to anybody that flies free flight balsa airplanes, anybody that builds balsa airplanes, and they'll tell you, yeah, Krylon's it. And with that Krylon right there, we'll put a protective finish. It'll fill in the pores and the tissue, and it'll seal it up. And you know something? It doesn't create no warps in time, and it stays there for years on end, as if it was brand new. So that's your use for your covering techniques. But anyway, like folks, on your tissue here, if you decided you wanted a color tissue, don't apply no paint on it with an airbrush or a paintbrush, because that's more weight on there. So what you do is you take your tissue out, you lay it over a piece of plywood, or or you can hang it over on a clothesline and get you an atomizer, a sprayer. And what you do is get your water-based aluminum paint, you mix it in there with alcohol and water, shake it up till it's all 50-50 all the way, spray it on the tissue, and when it dries, it'll shrink. It'll be as if it was colored tissue. That's how they make jet tissue, by using dyes. And so when you apply over your model, spray again, it'll tight more. So there's a tip right there. Anyway, folks, that's about it right there in this kit. I was pondering on this last night because it looks like the weather's starting to break right now, and I'm starting getting the balsa wood urge right now. But I still will build styrene kits. I still will be involved in group builds. So right now, this is down the road, and I'll have other builds going with this too. And so tomorrow's video will be the completion of the Aaron Newland's Matchbox group build featuring my dotless. Will be done tomorrow. And also Aaron Newland's trainer aircraft build, part 3 of my part of my Super Cub PA-18. That'll be completed. And I'll have that done tomorrow too as well. And that means that all my group builds have been completed. And right now I'm waiting on will call right now for Chancellor of North Wales. When he gives you the green light for the flying boat group build. So my PBM is up there top of my stash pile I have up there. And it'll stay up there until Chancellor gives me the green light to proceed with the build. And that'll be that. So anyway, after I finish up these 2 builds tomorrow, and Aaron Newland's Matchbox and Trainer Aircraft group build, once they're completed, I'll put us a will call for the spring build, and I'll make a big video of builds of this, and I think you guys will like it. And like I say, I'm only isolating this only to this modding community only, because there's other forums out there, fellows, as I discussed earlier in the video, that more or less favor towards balsa wood kits. So I just do this kind of like a ritual for me. Every springtime I start on a balsa kit, like to build one and fly it. Yeah, who knows? I might take my camcorder out there and take a shoot of it when it's flying, and that'd be a great thing you guys would like. I could do that. That's down the road. Anyway, guys, it's time for you to get off here right now. So when I finish up my Aeros 2 group builds right there tomorrow, I'm going to present another build that I think you guys will like. This is going to be, I was thinking about starting a Luftwaffe build. And an aircraft for the Luftwaffe. It doesn't matter what kind there is, but we'll discuss that later on in the video as I bring on the inbox a view of that. So I'll bring that out tomorrow, with the accompanying of the completing of Aaron Newland's trainer and Matchbox group build. And incidentally, Lanny, thank you very much for the shout out, buddy. You'll like that Matchbox SBD Douglas dive bomber. You'll like it. You'll find that there's no fit issues at all wrong with that kit. That kit goes together like a glove. And so far there's no flaws on it at all. I mean, it goes together very, very well, and I think you'll like it. And like I say, the decals ain't the best, guys. I mean, you leave a lot to desire, that kit, Lenny, you know. And so therefore, buddy, you gotta, you're the right thing. You gotta go out there and get some aftermarket decals out there. There's a lot of places out there that deal with aftermarket decals. Now, Frankie Duarte is a blessing. This man is a great man. This gentleman right here has helped me. He pulled me. He saved my bacon by sending me some decals for my dotless, and those dotless look wonderful. It changed the whole build into the pre-navy blue-gray color scheme before they went to intermediate blue. So, Freddie, once again, sir, from my heart, thank you, sir, for those decals. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, buddy. Okay, boys, it's time for old Frankie Day to get off here right now. I've been on here now for 26 minutes. Oh, my God, that's a long time. Like I said, I hope you guys had some popcorn and some tea brewing. So right now, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. May God bless, and please stay tuned for my completing builds of Aaron Group builds tomorrow. And I'll make a special inbox review of Aircraft of the Luftwaffe, a group build I might start. So we'll see how that shakes down, folks. Anyway, Frankie Day signing off. May God bless, happy modeling, and we'll catch you boys next YouTube presentation. Bye, fellas. Bye now.